Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Well, I shouldn't say all ages. There is a warning. Viewer discretion advised. Not only may you hear words that are adult content, you might hear some phrases, some songs, some things of that sort. Please remember, this is all highly educational. So before we go ahead and proceed, make sure you have on your helmets. Buckle up and keep your arms, limbs, and legs in the moving vehicles at all times as we go ahead and roll with Tony and Glenn into Talking Some Shh. Oops, did I say that wrong? Let me try it again. Talking Some Shh I.T with Glenn and Tony. Take it away, boys.
We need helmets now, Glenn.
Crash helmets, no doubt. That way we won't have any injuries, because no injuries on the field. Can't have that. That would be a bad way to start the evening. So how you been?
Good, good. I thought my hair was a helmet. I have enough.
It's probably gonna. Your hair would keep you a lot safer than my hair would keep me. Hey, where am I? I'm not even there. I'm over here. That's why. See? Yeah, my hair is not doing any protecting from me. That's for
Well,
sure.
you got a built-in helmet.
I got these, and I got a very thick skull. That's for sure.
Yeah, my headphones would protect me if I fell.
Yeah. I'm unlikely to fall when I have the headphones on though, because I'm not wireless, so I'm not getting more than this far away. So I'm not gonna get. I'm not running anywhere. That's for sure. Keeping it nice and mellow, just kind of shuffling here and there. That's when you really have trouble though, is when you get used to wearing the wireless headphones, and then you get used to just like hopping up and going off, running off somewhere. And then when the battery's dead one day and you use the regular headphones, you do the same thing. And you yoink, and you
Oh yeah,
like, end up pulling something that's no good.
I have pulled equipment by doing that.
Yeah, the
And
worst though is when somebody snag a stick with their foot. Snagging no good. Usually it happens on stage. If it does happen on stage, that's really no good because it can pull an instrument off a stand. And we've seen that happen, and that is
or drag a fellow musician
yeah,
inadvertently.
yeah, or trip somebody who's carrying their own instrument. Yeah, all kinds of hazards, and that's why a lot of people really like the wireless sets, and they do work out nicely. Depends if I don't have a stage setup for that at this point, but at this point, this whole setup is just staying here anyway, so that doesn't really matter. And when I'm playing on stage, I'm usually playing bass, so I'm usually right by the bass stack anyway, getting that thump going from the back. It works out well.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
you're gonna have to unmute. Yeah, yeah. When you first come in, it brings you in muted. You'll see a little microphone icon. There you go.
Does it work now?
Yep,
Yes, it
yep,
does.
you're good.
Oh, it's very low volume for me here. Oh wait, I might gonna solve that somewhere here in
If you go
Zoom.
yeah, if you look next to the mic, there's a little arrow, and if you bring up the audio properties, you can adjust your speaker volume, your microphone volume, all through the audio settings. You're on the computer?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the bottom corner, there's a microphone and a little arrow next to it.
Yeah. Audio settings.
Mm-hmm.
Now? Yeah.
Yep. Bring up the audio settings, and you'll be able to adjust your speaker and your microphone settings.
Okay. Oh, I should wear headphones, I think.
Headphones do help.
Yeah, because I think it's on.
But I actually have some in there.
Headphones definitely help.
Glenn's just stick.
Yeah, I'll try like this, and then we'll see. Do you hear me?
Oh yeah, you sound.
Yeah, you hear
Sound
me?
good.
And I hear you, just not very loud, but it's okay. It works.
Well, if you have a problem hearing us, let us know and we'll speak up.
Yeah, great. Great. Yeah, because it's like maximum here and maximum there, and yeah.
We'll just have to ask Tony to speak a little louder then.
Yeah.
Make it work a bit better.
I have to eat the mic.
Definitely. So we see that you had some.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Again, so nice to meet you.
Oh, it's great to finally meet you. I mean, I have been following you as you came on to BandLab, and the first couple of songs you did, I was thinking you were one kind of singer, and seeing your evolution, I had no idea how heavy you really can go.
I didn't either. No, I
It's good
didn't
to
have
try
a
different
clue.
styles.
So, but it's no, it's lagging here. Oh wait. Gosh. Huh.
Yeah, it's good to try different styles and try
Now
different songs
it
and try.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony, as I started here, it was a cappella. I didn't know BandLab was a place where you share your music. I thought it was just record. Actually, it was like that, silly. But it was. And then I got to hear from Gray. I haven't seen him active for.
Ray was one of your first BandLab interactions.
Mm,
That's a fantastic BandLabber to.
I haven't seen him for quite a while now, but it was him. It was he. I think it was him who told me that. Oh, go to Tony's library, and then you have stuff to sing on to fork.
Yeah.
And so I did.
A lot of stuff in there. He's got
Oh,
all kinds of
even
stuff.
after
It's great.
clean.
Yeah, and also it was Anorak. Um, Anorak 318. I don't know if it's how you say it, but yeah.
Yep.
So that's why I got in contact with you because of the forks. And I was a rookie or newbie. I don't know what you say in English. I was it by then, and I still am. So
I love how you came in, you showed off your voice, the first couple of weeks, and then started to really get into your own creative groove. I mean, the stuff you're doing now is very original, very experimental. You're really taking spoken word into the 21st century, the way you're approaching it.
It's so lovely to hear because, yeah, I think when I started, I didn't think I was holding back, but I was. And now it's like I never hold back. So, but I remember you told me it must have been like, what can it be? I don't know, but I remember you told me, wrote to me like, okay, you're gonna be a lot of fun. And I didn't know. You knew, but I didn't know. So
my expectations were right.
so yeah, because those harsh vocals I started with this spring, and making metal music was this summer, and I really love the last thing I'm talking about the most. It's so fun. I don't know anything about it, but it's fun.
How did your love for metal, where did it come from? How long have you been a metalhead?
Yeah, that's really fun because I'm grown up with Metallica through my bedroom floor. My brother listened to them, and yeah, and
Got your metal through the walls.
sorry.
You got your metal through the walls.
Yeah, might be what it's called. So and and then he moved out, and I got his records, CD records back then, and I love lyrics, so I've always been listening to music and reading the lyrics meanwhile, and that's about it. Really, I don't have any other influences, like huge influences in metal.
So it started with Metallica.
Yeah, it's
That's
weird. I think it's here. It's like the love came back to me when I started here in BandLab. I've always enjoyed metal, but it's not that I know anything about it, actually. But
actually,
now I'm really influenced.
it's refreshing to hear how you experiment with it. It's very different than the traditional metal that you might hear on BandLab. It's got a lot of industrial, the mixture of spoken word with it. It's a very unique sound.
Thank you. And that might be because of my lack of knowledge. I think actually because
Or you're just going at it uninhibited. You're not trying to. A lot of times with metal musicians, they try so hard to be a certain formula, a certain sound, that they don't experiment. They just try to duplicate.
yeah. Okay, I get you. Because yeah, I don't do that. It's like I'm just going into my relaxing bubble. It's like it's my place where I relax. So then it's a puzzle. It is. It's a puzzle. So I find sounds I like or love, and put them together as I want them to sound. And but of course I got influences. It's like when I started here in BandLab, I started to listen to metal artists, and I really like the sound. So of course there's where my influences from. Um, plus Metallica and a little random stuff. But I think so. Yeah, definitely industrial.
And you are
I
a
think
strong,
so.
you are a strong word writer. Like, I think you're a poet at heart. And
Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. So happy to hear that. Because
the first thing I noticed when I started hearing your originals, it was, wow, great lyric writing.
you mean that spoken word?
Yeah, all your original pieces, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, thank you. Because I'm a writer. As I see myself, I'm a writer, not a musician really. I didn't know about that. So, but a writer I am, and or writer, but I've always loved to write in Swedish. So that's complicated because it's not my native language really. But I was thinking, why not? Yeah.
How difficult do you find it to translate between Swedish and English to?
Yeah, our friend Google, Google Translate, I use that. When it feels too complicated, I use that. Sometimes I just go with that, and then I read, and then I notice here's really wrong, because it is sometimes. So I always adjust, do adjustments after translation, but yeah, that's how I do it, because I can't find that more complicated words by just write them in English. So that's why.
Sometimes the Google translation doesn't really complement phrasing or context of words. When you're dealing with different languages take different approaches to how they say things.
Yeah. So it's a gap there sometimes. But what's beautiful about poetry is that it can't be wrong, never. So that's kind of what save it. So a weird sentence is just a weird sentence, and that's the way I looked at music too. It's like no rights, no wrongs. So I never hold. As I said, it's my space. It might be the only space where it's allowed to just let it all out and just don't think about anyone else or anything else. So that's adorable. And then I'm talking the music, the music making, the vocals, either clear ones, screaming, growls. I don't growl that much. I don't think it's appropriate growls, but and writing lyrics. So yeah, it's freedom. I really feel like it's freedom.
That's what it should feel like. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't
It is
it?
that you could pick, that you
Yeah.
can choose, to choose
I
this
think
language.
we're many people sharing that here in BandLab.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's what's great about having the multiple languages. You can choose a phrase that fits best in one language, even if the rest of the song you're trying to translate into the other language. That way, because some things don't really translate well, so there might be a certain phrase or a certain nuance that you're trying to get across that does work best in the original language. So I would even try
Yeah,
to put things like
yeah,
make that
that's
phrase
a tricky one, and also I don't know if it's called the accent or where you like put the pressure.
right. The emphasis.
I hear when I in my spoken words songs. Afterwards, I hear like, okay, this was Swedish, but English.
Mm-hmm.
That's very obvious sometimes. But then I think, whatever, because does it really matter? I don't know.
Exactly.
I love hearing things in other languages. Vocals really can sound different when you start going across languages. Each language complements different styles of music.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like Sweden is. I'm from Sweden. I live here, and it's a great music export land. Did you know?
Nice.
It's the third in the world. You're number one. UK number two. Sweden number three. It's so crazy because we like a little dot on the map. So it's cool. But I think I don't know where I was going with that, but maybe interest. I don't know, but
Considering the size difference and the amount of music that comes out of there, that is impressive.
yeah, that's cool. I didn't know about the metal music. I've learned that here in BandLab from metalheads, like, so many cool Swedish metal artists. And I was like, okay, that's great. Like Meshuggah. Oh, damn. I've started to listen to them now after after I heard about them. So embarrassing again, but that's how it is. And yeah, there's several.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool. It really is. So
Now, the album we're going to be talking about, is this your first album on BandLab?
the 7 deadly sins, yes.
Now,
Oh,
I love that you chose to do a concept album because to me, I think that's my favorite kind of album. That kind of album I want to write is a concept album. Uh, what made you decide to go with that?
yeah. Oh, thank you for asking. It really was like, it's a boring answer, because it's like, poof. Ah, yeah, poof. Yeah. Oh,
Just
the
obvious.
synths.
Yeah.
Ah, it just poof out of my head. And yeah, oh, that's cool. I go with that.
Well,
It was like that.
you picked a great theme. I mean, if you're going to go with a concept album and you pick a theme like that, considering how experimental you are, it opens up each song to different flavors. And you successfully did that. Like every single one of those has their own distinct mood, and but they come together as the concept album.
Oh, thank you so much. And I think that was good for me for a start, first album, because I had the space to experiment a lot. Because Roth isn't Slav, so Rath, I don't know, I don't even know how you pronounce it. Roth, Rath, whatever. They aren't the same, so it made me space to just be free and creative. So and that's what I'm curious about. I was and I am. So so it was like a ride, feeling the sin and just do it. Yeah. So and you know, I like the darkness. I like the ugly. So it suits me.
Oh,
I'm also bright and shiny, but
with this kind of theme, it lends itself to darkness. And when you
yeah,
talk about the seven deadly sins,
yeah,
there is some ugliness in.
yeah, very much. Very much. And some of the songs are like, I try to mirror them as traditional, like gluttony. It's not in the modern way. It's not hamburgers and fries. No, it's not. It's more like you sit there and you laugh and you have everything you need and more. And yeah, it's expensive foods and oh, I don't know the English word, but like some
Overindulgence on pleasure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that. So, but in Slav, it's the other way around. It's pure laziness. It's you don't want to go to work and so on. And yeah, so it's been like, where am I now? When I'm going to do this song, I didn't have calculated how I was going to do it. I don't think it was. Yeah, maybe it was an album idea from the beginning. I don't remember really. Yeah, probably was. But it felt exciting, and it was. It was so exciting. I feel I've learned a lot, and like there are some things in the tracks that are the same, but many things are different. And the lyrics aren't complicated. It's in Swedish, so it's not easy to know, but the lyrics hasn't been my core at all. It's a lot of bad language. It's yeah, it's
Goes with sin.
sorry.
That goes with sin.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, it has been very comfortable because it's just let it out, and that was part of the thing. Also, I felt that okay, I just want to scream right now, and doing that kind of vocals and explore with in the same song a lot of different stuff. It's fun to me, and it's really, I have to say that during when I'm singing on my music tracks, I make the music, and then I'm gonna sing. And in this album, it's I have some lines, few lines often, and then it's freestyle. It's just freestyle because I can't go with that. So then I'm just standing there and screaming, and oh, I don't know. It's just everything is just like a storm, and
You're as good with the improv as you are with the pre-writing.
thank you. And I think that was what happened, because I felt after these 7 sins, I felt like, okay, now I've done this. And it felt very extreme. And I just felt like, I don't feel, right now, I don't want to scream anymore. Yeah, it was like that. So
you
I'm
got
gonna
it
take a little pause.
You got it out of your system?
Yeah, I think so. I was a bit tired of sounding angry and aggressive and feeling angry and aggressive. So that's why I chose this other path that I'm in now. It doesn't mean I don't do I don't do stuff like the 7 Cs. I still do, but this is the thing now, because I wanted to focus on making the metal music and writing. And then it came to my mind, okay, so I don't even have to sing right now. I can speak. So that's why that happened.
Well,
Why I'm not singing right now.
I really like how you've been mixing it up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Having a full set like that, also having a set of 7 gives closure to it also. So it's sometimes, you're never sure when an album is finished, where in this case, you have a set number, so you already know you're channeling a certain feeling on each of the different songs, and you get the whole collection of them together into one album. I like the way that it has that sense to it.
Thank you. Yeah, I was like, can I call it an album when it's just 7? But then I figured out, yeah, sure. I can.
You can do whatever you like, yeah.
Yeah, I think an album is a collection of songs that fit together somehow. And then when you do a concept like this, that is the album.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Let's actually take a look here so people see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We've got Leon tonight. We've got Leon from Sweden. My voice is my weapon from Sweden. My voice is my weapon from Sweden. Produce metal. My voice is my weapon from Sweden. One woman band. There you go. All I do is one woman band. There you go. Sing several genres. One woman band.
Oh no, it's lagging.
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 One woman band. Can you hear okay,
Oh no, it's lagging.
No.
Can you hear okay? I just hear the same thing. No. I just hear the same thing. No.
You might have to share it, Glenn, because I might be looping when I share.
Yeah. No, it's normal again. What should I do?
No, I think the problem there is that the way I have my sound routed, when I share screen, my sound actually comes back to you guys.
Gotcha. Let me do it this way then. I'll go ahead and share
Okay.
this side.
So what am I gonna do?
I'm going to share it from here.
Glenn's got it set up, so he can bring up the screen.
Yep. Just
Okay.
need a second here to click this one over here. And we'll see this one shouldn't have any looping going on. And should already have the 7 deadly sins right here.
Yeah, she
Question
makes it
is-
nice and easy. It's right in her pinned post.
Yep, exactly. And this is on Pride. How do you pronounce the name in Swedish? If that's what this is here.
We were debating that.
Högmod.
Mood.
Horrible attempt, I'm
Precis.
sure.
Bra.
We were
Good.
both on Glenn.
Now, for the volume, the question is, this is at about a 3rd volume, so let me know if it needs to go higher or lower here.
So powerful. Now, is that Swedish at the end?
Yeah, it's all Swedish.
It
Uh,
it almost sounds like reverse.
yeah. Yeah, I've
Backward
heard that.
masking.
Yeah, but it's just Swedish. Yeah, and with some effects. So yeah, it's Swedish. Yeah, it's crazy. Did you hear my cat?
You
Yeah,
had a cat. I heard
Yeah,
many. I heard
yeah, he's
several
in there.
layers. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, he wanted to join. It's Metal Monty, my
Oh,
cat Monty.
you
Yeah.
got a
Better
happy
Monty.
accident out of your cat?
Yeah, I didn't have the heart to cut him off, so he's
Better,
there.
better than having a train come by or a plane go by when you're trying to record.
Sorry?
Better than having a train or a plane come by when you're trying to record. That's no good when the sound gets in like that. But a cat's
No,
always welcome.
we get a lot of those. Apparently, there's trains next to all of us.
Yeah.
How do we pronounce greed?
Girighet.
Ooh,
Girighet.
that's
Mm?
a tricky one in Swedish.
Mm. Yeah. But it's just like you said it, yeah.
All right.
And here's here's all about the drums. I went like all in drums. Oh, it's gonna be drums. So yeah.
Oh,
I wanted it fast and very much.
greed is one of the big sins. It's the one that
Yeah,
most
yeah,
people fall under.
Fast and powerful
agree.
drums.
Did you put these in certain order, or did you
I
just
was
kind
like,
of do them
oh,
as?
how I'm gonna put them, because that's a problem. So I solved the problem by not taking what do you call it? I didn't have to choose because I read about it, and this is the order.
Yes,
So yeah, so
that's what I was wondering, because like when they're pictured, they tend to be in
yeah,
a certain order,
yeah,
and I don't
and
know if it's based on worst to worst.
no, I don't think so. Well, I don't know, actually. No, but this is how they put them, this order. So it solved my problem. But my personal favorites isn't in this order. So, but yeah, this is it.
Well, and they do kind of relate to each other, like you mentioned earlier. Some sins contrast each other.
Yeah, I think that pride and greed has and wrath. Do you say wrath?
Well, the one that
You
I
say
was
wrath, but
thinking was
with
Wrath,
a double
sloth.
accent.
wrath. Okay, great to know. Yeah,
When you were talking about
wrath.
gluttony and sloth, they're kind of two opposite extremes in sin, because the gluttonous one might be overindulgent and
Mm,
over ambitious, whereas the sloth is the complete extreme other side.
yeah, yeah, and it's I I thought it was easy to make gluttony, but gluttony was the first one I made, and I was like this. Oh, if we're gonna try strings, I haven't tried strings ever, so I try that. So that's with strings, some strings like coded, and slop was the most difficult to make, and that was my next last. Yeah,
So,
envy.
you took care of the easy kills, and
No,
then got down to
no,
the
I just
trickiest ones. Yeah,
it's
no, that's a good
very
approach.
it's random. It's a random. Um, I just did the one I felt for the moment. Yeah, so yeah, it's this is not my order. No.
Well, it is a good order.
Yeah, it's the right order, at least.
And let's hear what it sounds like from greed.
Yeah, we're going into
Thank
greed.
you.
Wow, you really pulled the bass in there at the end.
Yeah, I love bass.
I'm always a fan of bass.
Oh, Glenn is bass.
Yeah, 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 you are.
He is a
Uh,
living bass.
He's a living bass. That's fantastic. Yeah,
with
really.
vocals, with
You
vocals
know,
and with the bass.
I don't play a single instrument.
Well, you have a good grasp of them because one thing I'm noticing with your drum approach, you have that like pulsating drum rhythm, but you strategically put in the explosions, the big booms in a nice slow tempo that works good between, the high paced drums. I like that combination.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. It's just made by mind and heart and soul. It's like I have a brain that spins so fast all the time and an rich emotional life. So it's like it's all just put together by that. And it's not one drum here. It's like it's several drums.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I just want, I
there's
just put them in.
there's layers to the percussion, just like your vocals. There's layers that are going on that are kind of setting different moods. It
Yeah,
really it gives it a very cinematic kind of flavor.
thank you, thank you.
Mhm. Yeah,
Because
that's it. Like the
yeah,
energy of the bouncing back
I
and
don't
forth
know.
is great.
It's just I just do it.
Mhm.
Well, it's
Uh,
nice that you got a creative outlet like that because when the brain's like that, if you don't have a creative outlet, your brain explodes. Or
yeah,
you do.
yeah, exactly. That's so true. I'm so happy for this place with all your nice, awesome artists, people. Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, and I'm
It's a
Um,
great
happy
community.
when I hear a creative artist that's really not afraid to experiment. That's the best parts of Band Lab for me.
Mhm.
thank you.
Yeah, I
It's
was mentioning
fun,
before.
right?
So you might
So
end up in
so
might
why
end up
not?
getting in
Mm.
trouble with this song for lust.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
one. Yeah, that
I,
one.
I I had a question on this one,
Yeah,
because I noticed there was a Swedish word for each one of those, except for lust. Is lust the same
yeah,
in Swedish?
and that yeah, that's just I've tried to get that in order, but haven't. But that's not a problem because it's the same word. Cool.
It's the same word. That's
Yeah, it
I
is.
was like, wow,
So
I guess that's
yeah, it
universal.
is. Yeah, sul. No, it's not. It's the same word. So it's okay to me. But it's not. I tried to deal with it in the settings. No success. But it's the same word. Lust in Swedish. Lust.
Sounds the same to me.
Lust.
Yeah, lust. Different.
A little looser, but still lust.
Lust. Huh? Hmm? Yeah, that was a fun one to make.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw in your description on that one. That one was a little different.
but yeah, lust is lust. Mm. So yeah.
It's got to be a fun one to portray.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun when I make my music always.
That's
Otherwise,
important.
I wouldn't do it. Cause
Exactly.
why would I?
Yep. What would be the point, right? Got to enjoy what you're doing. And let's hear lust.
Again, it went out with the pounding hits.
Mm,
Yeah,
I think
pounding
I
hits.
think on the arrangement side, that's one of my favorites in there. Just with the way that you bring in the string parts, and one thing I've noticed with you is your strategy with pauses and how you go out before the pause and how you come back. This one, you really see it in those moments when it just quiets down for a moment and then comes back harder.
mm.
Yep.
Thank you. And I think this one in this album is like the most naked. Okay, that was stupid, but it's
It
the most.
works.
But it is. It's the most naked or most simple, created. It's not so. It's not so much going on at the same time in the music, and. But it has like some very distinct sounds that I wanted to. This shall sound like lust, and then I build the vocals to that because I don't know my vocals when I do when I
Well,
make my
the, the
music.
the the vocals
Right.
were very lusty.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and that was just by flow, and uh, I'm often like this. I love to go from one kind of vocal, like here it's like here I go from yeah, different kinds of vocals to another, and that's fun. And I know that they could be much better if I isolated them, but then it would be like I would lose the like feeling and force. So I I okay, I can start. I can do one take and like okay, this was bad, and then I delete, erase. But then I often go with my second take. I start and then if it's not enough, then I go my second take because I don't want to lose um, the emotions.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sometimes the emotions come out on the first take, and the perfection comes out usually on the second or third take. You warm up on the first one, but that's also where you sometimes have the most feeling because you're trying to feel it out.
Yeah, yeah. Mm,
That could
I
be where you find
I
the real heart of
agree.
the song there. Yeah,
That's why I don't delete any takes. If a singer's
exactly.
going to give me takes, give me all of them.
You do, yeah, cool.
Hmm.
Um, and it was like this before I started this spring making my own music, spring summer. I had just in Bell I put on that red voice recording uh, button. So this is a very exciting world to me.
Hmm.
All these making music thing.
So many
Yeah,
options. Yeah.
yeah, so many options, endless.
Hmm. Now, was what kind of drew you for Envy? Or was what was that all about? You got the
Yeah,
two-take version with the
that
Swedish
was
vocals.
the last one I created,
Oh, Envy
and
was your final? The
yeah, the
last one you
final, the
did?
final. Oh, that's the word. Yeah, it was my final, and it. I think uh, it's it's quite a lot different from the others. Uh, this sounds more like some or another track I've done before, but this was I wanted that poison feeling.
Hmm.
Um, uh, so yeah, that was fun. The end, I think the end is, oh God, it's a mess. Luckily, I swear some in English. Otherwise, it would be been a disaster. But Yeah.
Well, fortunately, we put up a disclaimer.
We said there might be language.
Yeah.
Well, with
There
our
will be
shows, there
language.
will be.
Yeah. Even accidentally sometimes.
Hey, we're talking about the sins.
Yeah,
Language
yeah.
comes
It's
with
a sins.
it.
Sins are sins. Yeah.
And I shouldn't even try to take a guess at the pronunciation for envy, should I?
Yes. Avund.
A wound.
Oh, it sounds even cooler in Swedish. Avund.
Avund.
All right, here it is.
Great.
You really do capture the mood of each sin at the end of each song.
Oh, this and I don't know. I think it's silly, but at the same time, I just wanted to embrace that, you're so envious that you're like crying inside. Yeah.
But That would be the one that I would have found most challenging to try to play along the bass for with the timing. It was very interesting timing on that, which is very cool. It was like kept me off balance a little bit, but in a good way. It was like trying to
Yeah,
guess where it was
yeah.
going at that point.
I think I'm like always out of balance actually, but or I don't know, but often. Here's some other guitars. I don't know. I just felt for some, or isn't it like another style? That's what
Yep.
I feel at least. I want this like it's like the oh I don't know the English word, but like yeah like oh um it's going like slow and a squeezing or whatever.
Kind of zooming
Squeezing,
through.
squeezing sound.
Well,
Hmm.
another thing I've noticed with your sound, the industrial in you is very strong.
Mm.
When it comes to like industrial metal, is there an influence there? Because if there isn't, it seems like you have a lot of industrial metal
No,
in
of
your
course
feel.
there's an influence. It's my favorite artist band here in Band Lab. Yeah,
Hmm.
and that's Vertlos.
Nice.
Yeah, Vertlos, Krigkop, Vertlos. So I think my love for it comes from them, and yeah, yeah, I think that's it. And I also was on Rammstein this
Oh,
summer.
Rammstein.
Yeah,
You just made Antiphone's day.
yeah. Uh, as I used to say, I'm still in an amazing, awesome shock. And just let me be there because it was so cool.
Nice.
So yes, um, I like that. I like that. I think it's the um. Oh, I don't know how to put it. It's just a sound that speaks to me. I think that's it. And I think it was because Krigkopf was the one who told me or suggested, don't you make your own music? He told me. No,
Good
no.
suggestion.
Why should I? So that's the reason why I started. So I guess that's why it has an industrial sound because that's my
Well,
uh,
I think the industrial layers in these are where um, there's the cohesion. Like this is where those hits and those explosions and
mm,
it comes from that industrial layer that you add
mm,
behind
mm,
things, and it really
yeah.
does. It gives you multiple flavors in your music.
There was
Some of
almost
it is like extreme vocals, and some of it is like industrial, and
Mm,
some of it is just pure experimentation with how a voice
yeah.
can go up and down.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it with this album. Really, it's a fusion of a fusion
Very much.
uh, with an industrial ground, maybe.
Mhm.
Uh,
Now we were mentioning before about the how gluttony and sloth were kind of polar opposites. So this would be the gluttony side of the coin that we were coming up on next here,
yeah, my
and that's the
first
question.
strings.
Hmm. Strings.
Your
Oh,
first string.
Yeah, this is the first time I use strings. It's
nice.
hysterical. Yeah,
And how
it
do we
was
pronounce
fun.
gluttony?
Well, you know what's funny is the way
Full
you
sales.
sing sometimes, you sing like strings sometimes, depending on the technique that you're using.
Okay. Huh? I didn't know that. How do you mean? Because
Well,
it's very exciting.
the way you'll hold a note sometimes,
Ah,
especially on a backing vocal layer, it's almost like, you know, a cello or a viola just kind of playing that part behind it, but it's a voice.
Okay. Does it have to do with duration? Like it's a
Um,
long one?
your attack and your approach for that
Oh,
particular
it's
vocal line. It feels
okay.
like a bowed
Okay.
instrument, but with voice.
Okay. I think that's when I get in the mood. Um,
Nice. Now, how do we pronounce gluttony?
Frosseri.
Froseri.
Mm. Ja, det är bra. It's
Is there
good.
a
That
lot
one
of
is a
roll on the R?
tricky one.
Froseri.
Mm?
Might be too much
It's
roll on the
correct.
Glenn's going to be speaking Swedish by the time we're
Yes.
done.
R. At least 7 words. And one of them I'm cheating because it was English already.
Well, if you know these words, you can get around in Sweden.
Yeah.
We'll get you
On
a good
your
start.
own way. Mm.
Let's try that one.
Thank you.
Låter super. Så jävla gött.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. It's just a fun because in the end, what I'm saying is foo, but in Swedish. So
With a little shake. That
yeah,
foo was
Matt,
that foo was
but
king.
I love the fact that the song takes you on a journey, even if you don't, even if you can't hear the words or don't know what the words mean in a different language, it still takes you on that journey the whole way through, and that's very cool.
Oh, you feel the theme like throughout the sound.
Hmm.
I love
thank
your
you.
your string implementation there. If that was your first strings, I hope it's not your last. I like how you approach it.
Oh, thank you. I think I did them the wrong way, so that's why they sound so weird, and got to sound the way I wanted them to sound actually. Because I've been thinking about those strings, and yeah, I hear that they are not correct. It's like disorder, what you say?
A little bit of
Um,
chaos almost.
Well,
yeah, but that's how I wanted it to be. So
yeah, again, you gave it a cinematic approach. Like
yeah,
you're kind of writing for like a theme music.
Hmm. Like you
thank
can
you.
see a
Yeah,
scene going on in the background there with that music playing. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
So and that was my first one I made, and I hear now that I was um, focused on my vocals, because here's my harsh vocals much better than in the rest of my album.
Well,
But
I'll tell
okay,
I'll tell you, out of all these tracks so far, that's the one where I could see rap coming in. With that particular one, there's moments in there where you have rap opportunity. When the beat kind of
cool,
settles in, I could definitely hear bars.
cool. I didn't have a
Definitely
clue.
moving.
Cool. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Cool.
you've been covering
That's
all
nice.
sorts of genres between these. Apparently, every genre is a sin.
Hmm.
Mm,
Sins for every genre. Yeah. Every
yeah.
style. Now, wrath sounds angry.
Yeah, that might have been the most easy one, because yeah,
Yeah,
it's
sometimes anger is the easiest to express in music.
yeah,
It's what makes metal metal.
yeah.
Anger
So
and aggression.
yes. So if I remember right now, it was like, okay, I know what that sounds like. But when I made the music, I wanted to make a twist out of it. I do that sometimes. It's like some bit of confusion. I think that this scene might have been better with a green music, but I want to spin it an extra. Yeah. So
So greed almost stole Wrath's thunder.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, exactly like that. So here's another.
Damn
This is
greed.
yeah. Here's another type of murder.
And how do we
Yeah.
pronounce wrath? Is that vrede? That's probably close, but not close enough.
It's like verdict.
I picture
Now,
that as like I see a Mad Max scene, like with them doing like the war drums on the vehicles as they're going into battle. Like that's what that kind of feels like.
oh, that would totally fit for that like race in the last movie.
Definitely.
Thank you. Yeah, I sound mad. I hear
Well,
that
a-
myself.
and that's what Wrath should sound like.
Yeah,
It
yeah, it does.
very drum heavy. The way that you did the drums on this one complemented the Sin, like the little rolling drums here and there, just and then coming back in with the strong like felt like Wrath drums.
Thank you.
Very much.
Yeah, and the lyrics are they are very aggressive here. So yeah, um, and the this is one of my tracks that I feel that's very industrial. But do you think so?
Oh, I think
I think so. Yeah.
industrial, like you've got it down. It's
Yeah.
it's a part of your sound generally
Cool.
overall. Oh
Cool.
yeah, it's like one of my favorite metals too.
Mm.
I'm a
Awesome.
synth guy, so when you add the right amount of synth or the right amount of explosion,
Mm.
um, that's the
It's
part of
it's
metal
like
that.
it's like an extra spice. I look at it like that. It's like, what's missing? It's like some sound is a boom. Yeah, it's often it's that sound that makes it industrial
Yeah,
that
it's
I
kind of like
miss.
bringing the sound of, your surroundings into your music. With
Yeah,
industrial, you hear a clank of a pipe or,
yeah,
something that you would hear in the real world.
yeah. I have a great example of that. It's a bit silly, but in one of my spoken words tracks, there's a, there's a sound of a bird, and I don't mean that's industrial, but it's like putting something in there that is totally different from everything else, and
Yes.
that's exciting to me.
Yeah, yeah, bringing the real world sounds into the music sounds and bringing
Yeah.
the real world sound out of the music is very creative.
Mhm. And there's
Mm,
definitely all kinds of different sounds that you can pull out from different things. You were saying one was like whether it's noises of claps hitting things or whatever. There was one I always liked was the sound of like metal hitting one of those high tension wires. It's kind of like almost sounds like a laser firing, but like that kind of a
mm,
sound. I always liked that one.
yeah, exactly.
Now sloth is the slowest one, right? Like that would you would think
Mm,
that would be like the slowest tempo maybe, or
yeah,
the longest song, or the one that took the longest to do, maybe.
it was the hardest to do.
Hmm. Most difficult.
It's a hard
And most
sin.
difficult, yeah.
It's a hard sin to come to terms with.
Yeah, it was like, okay, how I'm gonna do this. But then I just it was go with the flow. So
Yeah, if there's one
it was
sin
fun.
if there's one sin you're going to procrastinate on, sloth would make sense.
Yeah, and I think I made it number 6. Yeah, so I did that.
It was right at the end.
Right at the end. Let's hear how sloth goes.
Åh, jag struntar i klockan. Jag lever mitt eget liv. Jag bara sträcker på mig och har det skönt. Jag struntar i klockan. Jag lever mitt eget liv.
Jag gör med den precis som jag vill. Jag tänker sitta
Again with the emotional out.
Very emotional.
Yeah.
Sloth is one of the ones that I would have the most trouble with personally. That's laziness is one of those things that'll get you. But that definitely didn't feel lazy in terms of the way the song went. But I definitely get where it's coming from.
Actually, the contrast between the harp and the metal riffs going back and forth did kind of have that. It would bring you in, slow you down, bring you back,
Mm,
slow you down. I like how you
mhm.
implemented the harp.
Oh, thank you. Because yeah, this was difficult. So it was like uh, about the vocals. I think I thought that okay, I make one like lazy vocal style, you know, like yoni and, and all that stuff I'm doing,
Mhm.
and the other one is a protest to all this.
Mhm.
I just want to be lazy, so angry if I'm not allowed to. So that's the vocal part here.
And that is the sin that, like, these days we are really fighting with. The
Every
internet is
day.
the internet is turning us into sloths.
Mhm.
Yeah, because we humans are like that, right?
Mhm. And as
In the
technology makes
ground.
things easier for us, as things get easier, we tend to get even lazier when the option is there because then that can be taken care of by this, or I can do that with that. Different ways that are time saving, but sometimes it just saves too much time. It's things that are just better done the right way, the old fashioned way, right?
Yeah, it's
True.
nice to be able to go back to the old-fashioned way. With all these tools and things, it sometimes feels like, why do it?
Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
just it's spinning too fast
Mm-hmm.
in some ways. Mm.
Definitely
Yeah.
enjoyed the album there. We had the Seven Deadly Sins right there. We were also looking through your page earlier and seeing all kinds of different things. When I was looking through to see some of the other songs that you've covered in the past, and there's so many from so many different styles that it's even just glancing through the list was like, wow, oh yeah, that one, oh
I
yeah, that
told
one.
you
I've
she
seen.
was I told you she was diversified.
Very good stuff.
Thank you. You know, when I listen to some stuff I did in the past, I just like, oh God, it sounds like shit. But then you have to remember everything is from where you are now. And sometimes I really feel like this kind of vocals are so much, yeah, it's like easier because you have so much more room for mistakes or what to call it.
Or experimentation. I mean, that's
Yeah.
really what you did there. You experimented with so many different vocal techniques. Have you done vocal lessons, or are you just self learning?
I'm just self-learning. Yeah.
Isn't it, that's the beauty of voice. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to take lessons to learn how to sing. But what I like about you is you're not afraid to try the techniques, and because of that, you're learning the techniques whether somebody teaches them to you or not.
Oh, I thank you, and I think that is true because you can't learn if I think you can't learn if you don't do it fully. So it's like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Sometimes it's too much. That doesn't sound good either, but in most cases, it's like you're telling me now, it's getting you to another step in something, whatever it is.
In
So,
evolution,
yeah, yeah,
in your
yeah,
voice.
yeah. And I think, yeah, absolutely. And the voice is so beautiful because it's a fingerprint. It's so cool. No one has the same voice as anyone else.
It's the
Isn't
one
that cool?
it's the one instrument where you get to be you.
Yeah, true.
And everyone's
So,
crafted from different influences as well. So everyone has their own, set of specific influences. If somebody was heavily influenced by one singer or artist, or whether they, listened to a whole bunch of different styles and mashed it all together into a new style. I like the
yeah,
way that all works.
can adjust it so much. Yeah, that's really cool. I've always liked to sing though, since I was a child, but it hasn't been anything that like my parents have like, oh, do that.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been like that. So no,
So
it
you
has
kind of
been very little.
you went after music kind of on your own there. Like it just you found music naturally. No like
Yeah.
family influence.
No,
Was like
no,
that for me.
definitely no family
Yeah,
influence.
yeah. I didn't
No.
realize there was music out there until I actually started turning on the radio and listening to it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, because yeah, my sister played the piano, but it wasn't like that much, and my parents nada, no musical interest, and yeah, uh, no, I haven't been singing so much, and I found that I've been missing it when I started now. In what is it, February
Oh, that's a good sign.
2021?
It's a sign that you were meant for it.
Mm, yeah, it's I'm like this. Sometimes I feel something is missing, and then I know, okay, now I need to, or now I feel to sing, scream, growl, or whatever. It's like something needs to go out of my body, mind, soul, emotions, and the same actually. Just the same happens when I'm sitting with my computer and produce music. So
Yeah, it's an
it's
emotion. It's an emotional outlet.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And as we talked about before, I think we got that in common. Many of
Do you
many of
find
us
yourself
artists.
starting a lot of projects and before you finish one, or do you find yourself starting a project and finishing that one before you move on to another one?
That is a good
Um,
question.
oh, that's yeah. What an amazing question. Because I'm like this. Okay, I start, I finish. I start, I finish. Always.
Hmm.
But because I hear, so, yeah, I've heard it's very different between artists how you handle this. But it's like I can't have too many stuff in my system because no, it doesn't work for me. So it's like,
Yeah,
no, I start with this
sometimes
one, I'll finish that one.
if you have too many projects going on at once, it can dilute your creativity. You know, you, you might be distracted from another song that you're working on while you're trying to really focus in on the one that you're trying to do at that moment. So it's a good approach if you just finish one and then focus on the next one
Mm.
rather than spread your creativity too thin.
Oh, thank you. I'm taking your experience advice there because I think when it's like, I think I'm walking around and I'm not thinking about my track, but I think something is going on all the time when it's coming to create music. I think it's with you during the whole day, whatever it is. So to me, it makes sense. You might just be enough with one.
Yeah, and sometimes the ideas just come like, the creativity comes at its own pace. So sometimes the one that you have to work on is the one that like you can't get out of your head at that moment, and nothing else is coming at you.
This is so interesting, and I'm just in the beginning of all these paths or path. So yeah, it's very exciting to learn about how do I work, how do other artists work. Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
cool.
and having BandLab as a resource there, I mean, you're learning to come into your own as a songwriter, as an arranger, as a composer, as a singer.
Yeah,
Doing a good job.
Yeah.
thank you.
That's where for having the so many different projects, a lot of times if like you were mentioning having different moods or whatever strikes you at the time, like I could start up a project and maybe I'm feeling a faster song, so I'll start into it and I'll start getting it down, and then walking around a little bit while later I'm in a totally different mood, so I'll start a different project. So that's why I'll end up with a whole bunch of different projects that are all only slightly finished, like one part here or one part there, or just a sketch of an idea or just a few words written down as lyrics. But I like to get them into a project so I don't forget them. But then the main thing is I have to remember to get back to them. That's the tricky part.
Yeah, and you hope what you left there is enough so that when you do go back to it, you feel it. You get back into that mindset that you were in when you came up with the idea.
It's enough of a nugget to remind me and get me back there. Yeah.
Yeah, many times I've had ideas where at the moment I was like, "Oh, this is going to be the greatest song I ever wrote," but I don't have time right now, and then I try to come back to it later, and every day is a different mood.
Yeah, it really is. So sometimes it's like that. It's gonna be today, or it's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna
sometimes
do it
that's the
today.
only way.
Some often I have like it's something just like I have like in my spoken metal stuff here that's current what I'm doing.
I love that you hashtag it spoken metal. I wish more would do that. It's the coolest hashtag there is.
I don't know what to call it. I thought it was what it is. But sometimes I'm here at home and like, I'm talking to my son. What do you think about this? Because I'm doing a song that is about this. I wrote some lyrics because in this project now, the spoken metal, as I call it.
Oh, go with it, girl.
Then I'm here. It's the lyrics first, so it's the other way around. And then I talk some with my son. It's about this, blah blah blah. Not too because it's very bad subject, so not too much. But I tell something about it, and I'm like, what do you think about this? Boom, boom, something. No, Mama, yeah, I think so. And then I go to my computer and just like it's just having someone to to discuss the feeling.
Yeah, to bounce the idea off of. Matter of fact, I was checking out some of the links that you had sent me yesterday before the show, and
thank you.
The one that actually caught me here. Let me bring this up. The one that I really enjoyed was the one that you mentioned. Your son had helped you with the instrumental.
Yeah.
And I thought this one came out so catchy. Like I just loved the way you put it together.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
I drink wine with the balcony door open tonight. I'm so tired of praying a fuss and quotes. I want to hear the real tonight and suck the Like you said, it can be hard to be happy. It's so easy to fantasize. And my thoughts and memories choke me. And more, once more. Light is out. Light is out. Light is out. I've hardly learned anything since last time. No, not me. But I think I'm slowly starting to see a shape. Some arms and legs. I work inwards, so I see a figure. The light is out. Light is out. Like a sneaky swirling storm. Like a too cheerful dancing spring. Yes, like a disturbing fucking orchestra. And I drink from my glass. The doors are all open now with thunder. Light is out. Light is out. Light is out. I've hardly learned anything since the last time. No, not me. But I think and I think. I know what you said. I carve in stone. I carve in stone. But I think I'm slowly starting to see a shape. Some arms and legs. I work inwards to see a figure. I want you here for real tonight and suck the blood out of your pulse. But light is out. Light is out. Fail.
That'll get your attention.
Definitely. Carving stone.
Now, was that telephone ring intentional, or did the phone ring?
No, it was a mistake. Yeah, it was.
Actually, it worked. When I
so
heard it,
I
I was
was
like,
like-
"Whoa!"
Yeah, should I do a retake? No, because then I would once again. Then I would lose my emotion. It's my daughter. She's
it
ringing
actually
the doorbell
it
with
added
her friend.
yeah, it added a little subliminal sound effect at
Yeah,
what was
but
a good time.
I think the first time I think it does, but the next time I think it's oh no, it doesn't fit in. But whatever, it's art. Everything is allowed, and she made this song with me. I look at it that way. Actually, it's like with my cat. um,
They co-starred.
you know, we're a family here, a little family, so small family, and things happens all the time. And here here was with my son then. He was with me. He's not very interested actually, but, but I was like,
Well, he's
"Oh."
8. He's 8, right?
He's 8, yeah.
Yeah, music's coming.
and he got to choose between some keys, and he got to choose between some guitars, and 8-year-olds, they know exactly, no, not this one, I want this one. So it's so cool.
It actually starts even earlier. I got a 3-year-old upstairs who knows exactly which sounds he likes, and
you see, I think
yeah,
they are less infected about stuff that doesn't mean anything, so they know the
and they approach it with
truth.
what they want to hear. Like they know what they want to hear.
Yeah. It's no confusion. It's not, oh no, not please anyone, or it's not like how do you say, oh no, this, not that. Oh, I don't find the word now, but insecure. No insecurity.
Yeah, and insecurity in music, especially if you're an artist, insecurity is what kills a lot of great musicians.
Mhm.
Mm.
They
I'm
have the
happy to hear that
capability.
because I do like this with insecurity.
Well,
Because
yeah,
otherwise
you're
it wouldn't be
attacking.
anything. It wouldn't
You're
be it wouldn't be a word. It wouldn't be a vocal. It wouldn't be any musical piece. It wouldn't be anything.
yeah,
So
like
yeah.
I said, that's what I appreciate about your style is you're fearless. Even before I heard your original stuff, when you were coming in and just forking like I get to know some of the artists who go fork my library because the tracks they pick and the journey they take with their vocals, you start to know like what this artist is, what the singer is trying to do with their voice based on their song choices and their performances. And that's why I noticed you after the first couple of forks. I was like, wow, she's picking very diverse choices that are going in completely different genre directions, but at the same time, you were going after the advance. You're trying to do Freddie Mercury, like that's a ballsy singer who goes for the difficult songs
Oh, thank
and,
you.
and then
Oh,
does them
I'm
good.
so happy to
Yeah.
hear that because yeah, I want the challenge, and but sometimes I know I take a step too far. It's not I'm not there, but otherwise I might not get to the next step, so it might be worth it. I know I did some Queen. I was like,
Yes. Oh,
okay, let's do Queen.
your Queen came out fantastic.
Uh, One did, the other two was okay. Two Queens was okay, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I think you did Who Wants to Live Forever,
yeah,
which
that one.
that's a challenge. A singer who goes after that. I mean, the whole song is about the voice. Like the music's just
Mm,
there behind the voice. You,
okay.
I thought you did fabulous.
Oh, thank you. That was a new song for me. I hadn't heard it before. Actually, it's crazy, but it was like that. And I know I listened to it. I think it was from the movie,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Queen movie.
Highlander,
Yeah,
Highlander.
yeah. I heard it and I just fell in love with it. And it's so sad. And I was so sad at that moment when I sang it. So I think that's why it fits.
Do, do,
Yeah,
do you think if you can get into the emotion before you sing a song that it helps?
very much, very much.
It's like an
Yeah,
actress getting
exactly.
into their motivation.
Yeah. Oh, it's so exciting you talk about this because this is why I think I'm now from these very harsh vocals to these spoken metal vocals, because it's like um, I'm not I'm not that angry anymore. It's something else now. Yeah.
But at this point, you're training yourself as a performer so well that you may not have to be angry to perform angry.
Yeah.
That's the end game.
Yeah. I really I have to say what I do right now. I think I this is even more exciting to me because this is playing with such small details all the way in your voice. It's not like that when it's the harsh vocals. To me, I don't
Yeah.
know, but to me it isn't. That's more like a fire and not just a fire, but you understand what I mean. And
Yeah.
and here it's like you need to capture the story in a different kind of way. And I should tell you, I'm a speech and language pathologist to my profession. So the spoken word, it's like a core for
Yeah.
me. So
And this complements spoken word and singing. They really can complement each other. You have a bigger challenge with spoken word because you have to articulate and your emotion has to come out in different ways when you're speaking a a poem, then if you're singing, you can use a certain style and sound angry, even if you're not.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
speaking, you have to sound angry in order to really emphasize when you're speaking.
yeah, yeah. I get what you mean. Yeah, and this is difficult when it's not your native language. It is to me because as we talked about before, it's like you should have put the pressure. I don't know the word for it on a certain word, and I do it on another word
Yeah.
because we have like in a sentence we do in different ways.
Well, and
But
when you're talking different languages like that, emphasis in words start to
emphasis,
change, especially with Swedish versus English.
yeah.
There's different emphasis in the
Very
same word.
much. And there, I know myself that I'm not English there. But as I told before, I'm like, I don't want to think about that right now. I just want to think about the art and the poetry itself, because I think when it comes around, that's the most important. That you got the emotional expression with you all the way, and that's also it's you can't be just like a line, and you can't be too much.
Yeah.
You have to find a way through the music that makes the excitement in the right place. It's in the right places. It's so fun.
Well, it's interesting that you describe it like, if you are a line in music, music has dynamics. Music is not meant to go that way. Music is meant to go up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. Uh,
Mhm.
Music is meant to move in its flow. So if you just are a line, people call that drone. It's drony, it's monotonous. It's
Mhm.
You don't want to do that unless it's part of the sound, and even when it is, you still want to put dynamics around the the
Mm.
the line.
Yeah,
That's why
because
we have different instruments and we do multiple vocal tracks.
otherwise we might lose interest, right? It's
You might lose
nothing.
it. You might lose impact.
Impact more,
Yeah.
yeah, impact. Yeah, I get the difference between that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, impact is a good description for like your music has a lot of impact. That, getting those explosions, those hard hits, those swirling vocals that you do, your impact is across different layers for different sounds. And that's what makes great composition.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's just so fun because it's like yeah, this is it's just so much fun making music and sing. So yeah, I'm just so happy and honored, yeah, to be here.
Well, it's
Really.
fun to get to hear tracks like that on BandLab.
Absolutely. And for the multiple languages, trying to think in a particular language, like if I were trying to write a song in a second language, for me, the question would be whether I was trying to, think of the concept of the song in my native language and then try to translate those ideas into the other language, or if it just kind of comes up in the other language that I'm trying to go into. That would be the tricky part.
Yeah, that's complicated because yeah, before I did the other way around, but now I'm mixed because I have 8 spoken metal as I call them, and I thought it was 9. Apparently, I have hard
You're
to
on your
count
way to
from 1
9.
to 10, so but it's 8. I figured out today, and they are also very different because it's just what you are talking about, Glenn. It's this how do I put how do I begin with the lyrics? Do I begin from my language, or do I begin from the language that I'm going to present? And
when you
sometimes there's a mix, sometimes it's one.
when you're thinking in your head, do you think in Swedish or do you think in English?
It's from
Or
time to
is it
time.
blended?
yeah, it's blended. It really is. Yeah. But with my first spoken metal, it was more from Swedish, but now it's the latest ones. It's more from English. Yeah, it's a blend, really. It is. Yeah, it's so fun to play with all these words, really.
Do you find it
And
easier to
with
rhyme in one language than the other?
oh, good question again. Go, Glenn.
Come again?
Is it easier to rhyme in one language than the other?
Oh, I don't rhyme so much. Maybe that's to make it easy to myself. I don't know. I have
Well,
one of my tracks.
the rhyme's not a necessity. Sometimes that gets in a poet's way. Rhyme and reason when it comes to
Yeah,
poetry.
I think as well as my the Seven Deadly Sins album, this is so much exploring that I really have like, oh, okay, this song I put it this way, try this way, Mike, yeah, how's this gonna be? And next one, okay, I'll put it in this way. And there's another type of storytelling. In this one is from me. It's from me as a person. In that one is from him or her, and very different build up in the lyrics. Like it's a story, how much repetitive, whatever, come again parts it is, and I know that there's probably a lot of rules about this. I don't follow any rules. I just write, um, and they are very dark, all of them. It's darkness. It's aggressive. It's like madness, insanity, anxiousness. It's no pleasant emotion at all. So I'm thinking when I write this, it might leave my body and soul. So I don't know. I don't know if that works, but a little bit perhaps. So so that's an instrument for that, I think. And
What would
and
you
I oh
say out of Sweden? What is the genre that you would say in music in Sweden is Swedish?
pop.
ABBA. If I think like
Yeah, oh,
I
ABBA,
think
of
ABBA
course,
is the
of
king of
course,
Swedish
yeah,
music.
yeah. And we have Avicii also, but it's more house. Um, yeah, we have so many. Oh gosh, it's Europe. Let's rock.
Euro.
Europe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's a big
very
one
cool.
these days.
And Roxette. That's pop. You
Oh,
know.
actually after ABBA, Roxette. Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. And we have Ace of Base. It was in the
Oh,
90s.
okay. You're
You
nailing
remember?
them. Ace of Base, yes. Roxette, Ace
Yeah.
of Base, and ABBA
Ace of
trifecta.
Base, really good. They were totally something different, I
Yeah,
think.
every song
So
was a
cool.
hit.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many Swedish export artists. So I really, it's like a stuck in my brain here now. But
So you do get some good musical influence from what's around you.
yes, yes, absolutely. But most of the music here is in English. It's English language, as well as the TV and so on. But I think we have a lot of very skilled Swedish artists when it comes to lyrics. I'm the kind of person that listen as much to the lyrics as to the music,
Yep.
always. And to me that's sad in metal music, because sometimes I just don't hear it out.
Yeah, sometimes they're not trying to put the words, into the music. They're just kind of trying to make sounds with the words,
Yeah.
but the words are kind of not the
y-
priority,
yeah,
which is a
and
shame.
that, yeah, it's a shame, but I get it. I'm the same when I've done my album. It's the same, and also it's while talking about that mixing. Gosh, what a thing, mixing. I never thought about mixing until I started mixing.
I was
And
going to say you did a great job mixing
oh,
these layers together. There's a lot
oh,
of
thank you
layers
so
that
much.
you blended.
But the last track you played, it's a lot of bass in it, and that's the most difficult, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
And
Well,
because that's
bass and
uh,
drums always take a little
that one,
extra love.
yeah, I saw you turning up the volume, and I hear it too, that it's needed. So it bothers me, but it is what it is, and you learn along the way all the time.
Well,
So
when you're a mixer, the best thing is if somebody turns up the volume. That's better than when they turn it down, because if somebody turns up the volume, it means they want to hear it louder and more.
oh
But if you mix it wrong and they're turning down the volume, it means you
oh
put too much signal in there and they have to pull it back. So it's
oh, I never thought about it like
always
that.
better to turn up than to have to turn
Okay.
down.
Oh, thank you. Great thinking.
Mixing rule 101.
Okay, I
Shoot
didn't
to
have a
make
clue.
them
Cool.
shoot to make them want to crank it.
Yeah, and this I must say here with my spoken metal, that word, it's that's a challenge, because I want to hear the music. Um, I don't want it to be too low, but you have to hear what I say.
Yes,
So
you
that,
want the music to be relative to whatever is the lead. Typically the vocals or in spoken word, you really want that to be on
yeah.
top and you want the music to be padding
Mm,
it from the middle.
I think that's a challenge, really,
Oh, it is.
very much, because I think in most of the ones I've done, it's too high music in volume compared to the spoken words. But yeah, still trying, still learning, but I don't like when it's too much like in the background that you not even like feel the music for real.
Yeah, yeah, you don't want to,
So,
if the music's too far under it,
mm,
then you lose the dynamics of what
yeah,
the lead's
yeah,
supposed to be.
yeah. So it's tricky, really, to get
Tend
it
to try to
perfect. But then again, there's nothing that is perfect. Perfect doesn't exist. So okay.
Well,
try to
songs are
get
surrendered.
the words and the music sound like they belong together, but you still want to be able to clearly hear the words over the music, but still be able to clearly pick out the music through the words, and that can be very
Yeah,
challenging.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly like that. But it's also fun, because when you do something like that, uh, when it's really needed to try to solve the problem, yeah, it's developing. When it comes to when you sing vocals, it does matter, but not as much. And in metal vocals, less much than in like pop vocals. To me, to me, it's like that.
Well, in metal, a lot of singers these days are again simulating instruments. You have
Yeah.
singers who are singing like a guitar, and
Oh,
they're
I
just
think it's so
using their
cool.
voice, to sound like
Uh,
a guitar would, but with their voice.
I think it's so cool. Mm. It's I think metal is the most exciting genre. I think that's why I chose to go with that first, because it's like, oh, here's so much to explore, because you can make it so of course there are a lot of detailed and exciting genres or niches, or what to say, but in metal it's like it's allowed to so much to happen at the same time. And I always I like to think oh, I get it thick. I get it as thick as possible,
Yeah.
rich. So
Yeah, and
but I don't know. I haven't tried
metal
out.
lends itself to energy. You know,
Yeah.
when you're talking different music styles,
Okay.
metal is a very energetic genre. If you feel
Oh.
it, then it's easy to dive in.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, that's why it's just amazing. Um, I like to listen to metal when I'm very happy. It's the best, very happy music. I think it's like, oh, now I'm happy. Now I listen to this. And when I'm down, it's also great. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, it works
it
on
works.
both moods.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not like that with pop music, sad pop music. If you listen to sad pop music when you're sad,
Yeah.
you get even sadder.
Yep.
So that's a cool thing about metal.
Yeah, if anything, metal would get me to exercise.
Yeah,
If I'm
oh,
gonna
that's
hit
great.
the gym,
Oh,
I'll
I
play
want
metal.
that too. I want that too. I haven't got that effect yet. So I hope it's coming.
Happy music, metal works fine, and so does reggae. That's another good one for getting a happy feel on.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
reggae
Yeah,
always makes me
true.
feel good.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
A lot of times I'll do a warm up with that with bass, whether it's reggae. Sometimes it'll be that. Sometimes it'll be blues. Sometimes it'll just be random whatever like jam band stuff I like to listen to a lot. So I'll just throw any of that on and just play along on the bass for an hour or two just to warm up. Sometimes it's a fun way to do it. Just trying to grab different sounds. That's the same
Yeah.
thing with different genres. Whether you're jumping into whether it's metal, whether it's a totally different style that you're not used to. Sometimes even on the keyboard, I'll just throw on a different rhythm that I don't usually use and see how it feels, and just start working with that to kind of get an idea of how it
Yeah.
could work.
Yeah, and I think that's great and natural when you want to find something new. I think it's very possible to find something new if you like if you're playing metal and feel like stuck, then try some other genre, and you might find something there that's like breaking through in a metal.
Anytime you're looking to spice up any of your music, going into other genres is a great way to like think outside the genre box.
Yeah,
We just finished a pop to metal contest, which
yeah, yeah.
very interesting
Yeah, I love
results.
it. I love it. I haven't watched the show, unfortunately, but I have listened
Well,
to a lot of tracks.
fortunately, the finals are going to be this Saturday, so
It
you haven't
is.
missed it yet.
Oh, that's great. Because then I'm gonna, yeah, I have the opportunity to be awake then. Great. Is it, when does it start? Is it
It's going to
9?
be Saturday at 9.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. Try to stay awake. So then I'm gonna be able to see it. Yeah, it has been awesome to hear those songs, um, really, because it's like so totally different from the original, and that's
Oh,
so cool that you
yeah,
almost can't say it's the same song, and
Yep.
that's
yeah.
very cool to me.
There, there,
That's a
there
real
were some
cover to me.
amazing, there were some amazing submissions
Mm.
when it came to translation into metal.
Mm. That's the coolest covers, I think, when it's totally um, a new thinking. I like
Reimagining the song
covers in
into a different
general. So
style. Yeah.
I like all music that sounds what I think sounds good. So there's no limits, right?
Yep. I'll find that also if I'm trying to write a song and it's I'm struggling with it, like I like the way the chords go together, but I don't like the way the song is kind of feeling or coming together. Just trying different rhythms, different patterns, different styles to see maybe this song wasn't meant to be this, maybe it was meant to be a country song, or maybe it was meant to be a pop song or
Mm.
whatever. Trying it in those styles to see if the song itself wants to be a different style, for example.
That's cool. That's really cool.
And I feel like it's the audience who ends up choosing the genre. An artist can say they're this, that, an artist can say what genre they think they are. But if the listening audience says, oh, you know what, that's a great country song, and that artist is like, I'm not country. Well, if your audience says that's a great country song, they're telling you what genre they're hearing.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's the listener
That's
that really
exciting.
picks the genre.
Yeah, I've done that sometimes in my revision settings because it's like I get comments on, oh, this is Doom. This is okay. That
Well,
makes me enjoy. I didn't have.
BandLab doesn't give you I've always wondered like why they didn't like enhance the genre choices and have sub until I found out there's like 52 different styles of metal. It's like, okay, I guess if you're gonna put all of them in there, then your genre list is gonna get huge.
Yeah.
Makes it a little difficult to pick out. Yeah.
I always choose other. I don't know what half my shit is.
It, it's often a blend, right? It's why not?
I'll
It's
usually
like
pick whatever the main one would be, and then whatever other flavors it might have, I'll have those in the hashtags. So, it
Yeah,
might be rock, but it might have 5 other hashtags in there of different other styles just to make sure that they kind of land in the right areas. Because it
yeah,
is,
that's the
you
nice
can't
thing
really
with
have
the
it too many places.
hashtagging system. Like, now that people are starting to use the hashtags more efficiently, you're starting to be able to, you want doom metal? Hashtag doom metal.
mm.
You will find some doom metal tracks. You'll
It looks
probably
like
also find some rap, but there'll be some doom metal in there.
it looks like Ant is
Yeah.
not a fan there of the
Uh,
the hashtag abuse comments there. Hashtag abuse, no good.
And when you get a unique hashtag like the spoken metal, that's one
That's a great one. Yeah, yeah.
you're the first one I seen use it. I'd like to see more of that.
it is spoken metal.
Yep. But that way, when you do a search for spoken metal, you'll just get that that entire category right there. It's all your stuff in one place.
Or heavy word. Heavy word
Yeah,
would also work.
yeah, yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah, yeah. So many ways. So many choices.
Mhm.
Um. Mm,
And like you said, a lot of times it is the listener that decides at the end who where it actually belongs in terms of what style. But also,
mm,
like you said, there's so many different styles that it's almost unfortunate that you have to pick one. It would be better if you could just say it's kind of this and kind of that and kind of this and be able to
mm.
pick
Yeah.
several of them so that they can get all the flavors in there.
Well, and
Yeah.
you don't have to pick one when you're writing. That's the beauty. Is like if Glenn wants to make Hungarian reggae, he can. He's been trained by some of the best.
Mm,
There you go.
mm.
Doomgrass electronic folk metal poetry. There you go.
Dude, if somebody
That
can
works
come up
though.
with doom bluegrass, I'd totally take a listen.
Doomgrass.
Cool. Yeah, and I think it's a good thing that it's a blend when it's blending because that means if a track have been done, if a song has been done, you don't want to do the same thing again, right? We
Yeah.
want songs to sound in different way, and that's so cool. While talking about that that songs sound so differently.
Yeah.
Like uh,
That's
it's
that's
amazing.
that's something that Ange encourages a lot when it comes to like doing cover tunes and things like that. Do them your way.
Mm,
Give it your own flavor and find find ways to go into other genre boxes. You're playing a
mm,
pop song, but you can play it in a different style.
mm, mm. Very creative. Mm.
Or you can take words from one song and somehow cram them into another. She got a crazy gift for it.
Songs together.
Yeah, being able to mash songs is a great skill to have.
And even just being able to play along with other things that you know, find something that fits with whatever it is that you're listening to, because that's where the arranging part comes in, like you were mentioning before, having all the different layers in there. Because once you have that first layer in there, it's easy to just have, okay, well, this is the way the chords go, and drop that in, and then you're done. But getting those extra layers and getting those little nuances in there, that's what really takes the time and the effort to craft the songs really nicely like that.
I have so much to learn in all these theoretical parts, but it's fun.
Oh, you're rolling along at a beautiful pace.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So
I mean, really, from what I've seen out of you in less than a year, uh, other artists that I've been on BandLab for about 3 years now, and that kind of growth in that little amount of time artistically is very impressive.
thank you so much. I've just been having fun and do my thing, and as I told you before, it's you know, I've done it alone. I'm kind of stubborn sometimes. I just want to, okay, let's see if I can. So that's been it. And I also get so insecure when it comes to collabs.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
can
know.
it can be tough to learn to work with other musicians. I mean, I spent 20 years learning how to work with musicians before I spent a decade writing alone. And music is one of those things you can do alone, but the truth is you're not making music to do it alone. People who artists who do things, paintings, music, they're doing it because for expression. And if you're expressing something, you want it to be seen, you want it to be heard. In the end, you might not care when you're doing it, but you really are doing it to for people to hear and see.
Yeah, you want to receiver in some way. Absolutely.
Hello,
And
everybody. Hello.
Hi, Danny.
How you doing?
Good.
Who am I talking to?
I'm asking myself the same thing. Are you here to meet up with Ange?
No, I didn't. SR asked me to come and join you guys. I'm Kemogen.
Oh, Chemagen.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, how's it going, man?
Man, ugly as
Great
ever.
to meet you.
Yeah, it's good to meet you. Who are you?
I'm Tony. This is
Tony.
Glenn.
Oh, you're Tony. Okay.
This is Minkley. We're finishing up an interview.
Okay. Sorry to
I don't
bother
I
you.
don't well I I don't know if SR like let you know you we're in the middle of an interview, so
Oh, are you? Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know what was going on. I don't know anything about these meetings. Yeah, nothing. This is new to me.
well,
Yeah.
welcome to the Angify Zoom.
Yeah. So what do you do on these things?
Well, a lot like this. We check out songs and artists, and
Mm-hmm. It says here is inviting me to join a green room. What's a green
yes,
room?
she's nudging you.
Oh, she getting me out of here?
She's bringing you backstage for a minute to have a chat.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'll join her.
Right. Good to meet you.
Good to see you, Kemp.
Definitely familiar with the music, but I've never met.
Oh, that's another metalhead.
yeah,
we have metalheads all over these rooms.
yeah, it's great. It's yeah, I really like as I've come to understand now when in battle when it's like you making metal, it's kind of a small piece of all the music. I've never thought about it like that before, but it's like I think it's a lot of love among metal people. It's
Oh.
passion, and it's like everybody gets their anger out in the
Yeah,
music, so
one
they
thing
can be calm and nice.
one thing we have noticed in all the different communities on BandLab, the metal community is one of the strongest, tight knit.
Mm,
Everybody kind of knows everybody.
Yep.
yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's awesome to be a part of this. Really, I'm so lucky. Really.
Oh, and you are definitely a part of it. Antiphone approved.
Yeah, Tiffany is approved.
He's a good judge. He's
I'm too messy for him. It's too messy music, but I think he thinks I'm fun at least.
see, he even seconded it.
Yep.
He's the brainchild behind the pop to metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm so happy for tonight. It's
Oh, me too. I was really looking forward to going through the. I mean, I had already gone through the album and a couple of them over and over, but I was really looking forward to hearing your insight and how you just went about this. It was fascinating.
I'm so happy you wondered about it, and I got to talk about it. Amazing, really. It's so fun to be an artist and talk about your own music with expert musicians. It couldn't be better, Amazing.
Yeah,
Had
And
the
I,
greatest
finding inspiration out there.
evening.
Mhm. Only to
yeah,
find inspiration out there wherever we find it. Keep on going. Keep doing music.
I find a
Inspiration
lot.
is everywhere.
I find a lot of inspiration in that kind of experimenting. That kind of creative experimenting is the part of music I love the most.
Thank you. I'm so happy you do.
We're not going to create new genres unless we explore.
Mhm.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. And everything has to evolve in some way, because we all want to evolve as persons in some way, I
Yeah,
think.
I
So
think
that's a part of.
being an artist and doing what you do the way you do, it helps you to evolve as a person, and evolving as a person helps you to evolve as an artist.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's one of the reasons I'm so happy I found this place, uh, this wonderful place where I got friends now. I have friends in real
We have
life.
friends here.
I do, yeah. I do have friends in real life, and they are amazing. But here I have no friend in real life, or living nearby, that share the same passion, that you can go on and on for hours about some small stuffs, or big stuffs about music, whatever
Oh,
about music, because they don't listen, and no,
yeah,
it doesn't work, the communication.
I haven't had musical friends physically around me for almost 10, 15 years. If it wasn't for something like BandLab, I would have been going stir crazy because where I live now, I don't have any friends. I live in the
Oh, I
mountains.
see. I see. It's amazing, this community, and we all who's here think so. I hope, because otherwise we wouldn't be here. So yeah, as I said, it's like chatting, sharing music, bouncing ideas. It's like if I did that with my best friend here in Sweden, it would be like it shouldn't work if not having the same passion for music. So that's so cool when it all just fits.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of my best friends when I was younger, none of them were musicians.
No,
I mean, I had friends in my bands. I was friends with my bandmates, but like, my best friends, none of them were musicians.
no, no. It's so different. I wasn't either until recently, so everything can change. and that's great too.
Well, you are officially a musician. Antiphone said so.
Yeah. We're coming back to him. Yeah. It's the boss, right?
Yep.
Oh, it's lovely.
And there's always good influences here.
It's an everyday light band lab. It's an everyday light for me. So that's awesome. So happy. So happy to be here tonight, really.
And for us, it really is like an everyday light. With all the shows we do and the diversity across the days, it's like Monday we're in metal,
Yeah.
Tuesday we're learning, Wednesday we're whipping it out,
Yeah.
Thursday we do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. So it's like every day. Isn't it
Yep.
great?
Absolutely.
Around Ange, it is.
Now that you released this album, do you have plans already for the next project, or are you just taking it as it goes, seeing what you're going to do with the next songs coming out?
For me?
Yeah, what's next down the pike?
Yeah, next one is my number 9 of my spoken vocal metals, or what do you want to call it?
Well, at this point, you almost got an album of
Yeah,
spoken metal.
I know. So it's 2 more to go until it's an album. And if I feel full when I've done 10, then it's an album. So I don't know, but it depends on me. If I feel like no, it's enough now, I'm done with this, then it's going to be 10 or it's going to be more. But I think it's going to be 10. I have lyrics for my next one ready. So I just need to get time to make the music, and then number 9 is coming. So yeah, it's going to be an album.
Yeah, time is always the big obstacle when it comes to creativity. You can't speed it up and you can't slow it down. You just have to find the
Yeah.
time to actually
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, and it needs to happen at that moment, at that place where it's supposed to. Yes.
Mhm.
It's gonna be music. It's gonna be music either way.
Ironically, it's all about timing, which music is all about. Music is all about timing.
So everything is about time.
Yeah.
Now we know. Yeah.
It also comes down to how long on each song, where it's a lot of times some songs are just, they seem like they go together really easy, and then they mix really easy and they just come right out. Other songs, it seems like I'm struggling with different parts of it for too long, like in different sections. So sometimes it's a question of being able to fight your way through it with the song, and other times it just seems like it comes out really easy. So that's where starting with the words or starting with the music, one way or the other, can sometimes make it a difference in terms of whether it's a complicated mix or whether it seems to fit together nicely right off the bat. A lot of times starting with something simple, like just starting with a rhythm and then trying to fit it from there, can help trying to get that whole thing started, for me at least.
Yeah, it's so different from song to song or project to project. Yes, how it's supposed to be, I guess.
Well, you've tried both approaches, right? You've started a song with words and you've started a song with the sound and added words to it. You've done both approaches? Which one do you
the
prefer?
7 Deadly Sins album, it was music first, and
Music
now
first?
it's lyrics first, always in this. Yeah, so it's so it's different.
Yeah, see me, I don't know if I have a preference. When I hear music, I tend to hear words in my head and the music sings to me and I feel like I hear the words that the music's saying. So I like that approach.
Mm,
But at the same time, if I actually have words I want to say,
mm.
then sometimes I'm not thinking of the music. I'm just thinking, what do I want to say? And then you massage the words, you
Yeah,
shape them to the music.
yeah. Oh, I totally agree. Because then, not any music at all, but if you like playing with the idea, if you have your words you want to say, perhaps you can put them in whatever music.
Yeah. And with the whole multi-language approach, you know, how the words fit to the music, like Glenn was saying, like, does Sweden lend itself to rhyme? You know, some languages, the songs they don't rhyme. The language actually is more like Latin. A lot of times, the words
I
don't
haven't thought
rhyme.
about that.
They just dance on top of the music.
Mhm. Oh, it's so cool.
E-
It's cool.
English
We have
English
different
is
languages.
English is one of those weird languages when it comes to music because there's almost this like thought that like things have to rhyme. Just like in poetry, it's like, oh, if I didn't rhyme, it's not a poem. No, there's plenty of poetry styles that aren't about rhyme.
Yeah. Yeah, your language is difficult in that way because it's really not in Swedish when it comes to, I don't even know, is it the USA or the USA? How do you say it?
I would
I mean, I
say
would usually say
It's
USA.
something in between, right? It's
Yep.
it's not that one, not that. It's something in between.
It also depends
It's
on which
impossible.
area. It depends on which area of the country also, because you get a very different answer down
Yeah.
south than out
Oh,
west, then in
that's
the east. So
good.
the accents are very different.
Yeah, the
Good
guy from
news to me.
Boston, the guy from Boston is not going to sound like the guy from Texas.
Oh, oh, then I'm safe. Great. Mm.
And
I'm
to be honest,
coming to the USA this
oh, yeah?
spring,
Nice.
Oh.
actually. I'm going to wave to you, guys.
Oh,
We'll
we
wave
will
back.
way back.
Is it a musical trip or a trip just for
It's a
vacation?
trip to my brother. My brother lives in Washington, D.C. with his family. So,
Nice.
Oh, you're going to be coming to
yeah.
the East Coast.
Yeah, yeah. I've been there 2 times before. I love the USA.
Mhm.
Oh, it's amazing. Really.
Yeah, we can
Sweden
have.
is
we-
great too. It's just like it's so cold and no one talks to each other
Oh, I would
and
love
stuff
to go to
like that.
Sweden. I would love to go to Sweden.
But
Don't you guys have killer skiing up in the mountains?
yeah.
That
Yes, we have.
that's what
I'm not much for it, but yeah. But it's a great country in many ways, social security and all that. So I'm happy to be born here. Absolutely. It's so cool. We get to know other countries by BandLab also. I have like friends all over the world.
yeah,
It's amazing.
that's been my biggest appeal with BandLab is meeting musicians from all over the world. You can't get that experience, you know, playing with local musicians around you.
Mm.
Yeah.
You can't get the kind of influence that you get.
No, it's like I think it's like a stop. It stops somewhere that doesn't happen when you have the whole map. Uh, It's hard to explain, but I think so because I personally feel like okay, there has been a missing part, there has been a gap somewhere, and now I understand that this is now I have filled a gap by this international community.
Actually, you filled a couple of them because Ange has been interviewing people from all over the world. We started with Greenland, we went to India, Australia a couple of times. You're our first Swedish
Oh,
interview.
cool.
Yes.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
We covered it, Ange. I
You
went
need
to
to
Sweden.
you need to get a map on your wall there and put needles.
And you
It's
got to visit
cool.
a little bit of Maine, the mountains there too, because that outside view you got of Tony over there. That's you'll see stuff outside there in the mountains there by him.
Oh, if you catch it earlier in the day, you see some amazing stuff.
Occasionally you see a meteor shower go by, a meteor streak, shooting star.
There might be a moose.
Yeah, mooses we have. I don't have so many mountains here. No. Yeah, it's home, home is home and it's great.
Yeah.
So that's nice. I like it here, but I like to have this space, as I told you. I feel like the world tend to be a bit small, as you talked about, like how you can develop in your little group with a little band. I haven't been through that journey, but I think I get what you mean, because when you get to know people from different countries, it's so many influences, both in person and the music, and it's so enriching, or how you say
Mhm.
in
Yeah,
English.
definitely. Enriching
So
words.
that's wonderful.
Hmm.
Definitely hearing how musicians see their country around them has been huge for me. Like, eh, again, antiphone. Gonna mention you one more time.
It's
He,
yes, with five at least.
well, he's my German connection when I'm trying to understand, like, German music. Going back to the classical is one of those areas where music has flourished for hundreds and hundreds of years,
Oh,
and
cool.
what comes out of Germany for music is always something I'm going to be paying attention to.
Oh, yeah,
Same
cool.
with Italy.
Yeah, yeah. Very exciting, really. Um, I I have a special thing about German. I think it's something. I know many people think that, let's say that, oh, it's not sounding nice. That language is like so harsh or something.
Well,
I
German is a metal language. I mean,
Yeah,
listen
it
to it. It
to
sounds like
yeah,
metal when they talk.
yeah. It's awesome. It's so solid. It's like every word has power. I love that.
Emphasis. Yeah, every
Yeah,
word is
huh?
kind of like punching you.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Mm. So there's charm everywhere.
Hmm. Now, do you have other social media pages that you would bring people to other than BandLab, or would you mainly bring people to BandLab to find your stuff?
I'm here. It's band lab. Yeah.
That's how I
Nothing
am
more.
too.
Yeah.
Find me on BandLab.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, I don't see any reason why I should be, on in
Well,
or
if
on
if you
other
keep
platforms.
if you keep developing albums like this, I can see a reason why you'd want to start putting that album out there for the masses should hear this. It will
Mm.
influence music.
Oh, you're so kind. You're so wonderful. It's with this album, it's like I can't. For example, I can't put it in Spotify, for example, because I can't. My mom and dad can't hear my. They can't hear. It's like
I I
my
do
relatives.
understand.
It's not okay. I don't want it to be so. That's my bad. But current project is something else. So, but yeah, the future is ahead. So
Oh, and I
let's
have
see. But
I have no doubt you will hit many genres and many different sounds in your journey.
thank
You've
you.
you've only just begun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. I don't know. Is it is it the most fun in the beginning? Is it to
Hopefully,
expect to?
hopefully it always stays fun.
Uh,
When the fun gets taken out of music, I think that's when we have to step back, and because if music feels like work, if you actually were doing it for a living, you might not be getting up every day being like, "Yay, I'm gonna go make music,"
yeah.
especially if you're on deadlines and um,
Mm,
you don't want the fun to get taken out of music, but
no.
it's a tricky thing to match your expectations and what you're trying to do with the fun you're trying to have while you do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why people say. Perhaps that's why people say you shouldn't work with your hobby because
it it's
it
good to
takes.
or at least separate them to some extent.
Yeah.
I could see myself working as a sound engineer and having fun as a pianist.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have to deal with the other separation of two creative worlds.
Mm, absolutely. But for me, it's like this now, because I get the question sometimes, oh, what do you want to do? As what's your goals and so on? And it's like, I reach all my goals. So
Hey, that's good.
yeah, I feel like that because like I didn't, I didn't ever think I would do anything of this. So it's like I'm just happy about that. And it might be a good thing because it might keep me relaxed. I think that's important when it comes to creativity.
Yeah,
Relaxed.
one thing we say all the time, or we hear all the time as well, is that for a lot of people, music is therapy, and it does relax. It lets you
Mm,
vent. It keeps your head from exploding with all those ideas.
yeah. And when to create something, it's like let the creation come to you. Don't like
Yeah.
Don't try to force it. Yeah.
run for the creativity.
I always feel like, the ideas are coming at me, and whether you're paying attention to them as they come at you, sometimes they'll whiz right by and
Yeah.
didn't notice I
Mm,
had a good idea until after.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's so many thoughts just in one day. So it's exciting what makes something and what just disappears,
Yeah.
I think.
The fact that the tools have gotten so much better over the years and so much more user friendly, so easy to use, to be able to just jot ideas down musically and come back to it later, or be able to jot something down and share it with somebody else to have their opinion
Yeah,
and get
easy
them
to
involved
collab.
in it. It's really,
Being easy
I
to
love that.
collab has helped
Yeah.
a lot.
I didn't have a clue you could like you could like make drums and guitars and bass out of like computer. It's
Well, see, your creative mind has found a way to utilize that so fast. Uh, Like I said, in just the last year, in the time that from when you started forking me to what you're doing, some people take years before they start. It clicks in like, whoa, I can take this drum beat, I can take that guitar sound, and I can
mm,
make music. Your creative mind assimilated those tools and you're running with it.
thank you. Thank you. It's just so fun. It's like, oh, today I'm gonna go in and make it in the studio and pick some drums and uh, it's um, it's pure happiness. So
And when you're happy with the outcome, when you're happy with the
yeah,
sound and the final results, it is the most satisfying
yeah,
feeling.
yes, it is.
Mm.
Yes, it is. But then I often get eager. I'm like, ooh, no, I'm done
But
with the music now. I have to go and sing.
you
I
want
have
to
to go and
do
sing now.
you want to do more, or you
Yeah,
want to do
that too.
better.
That too. Yeah, always. And that might be a trap. I don't know if it's a trap. Try to be better, because if it's not try to be better, it can be try to do something different. So it's not black or white, perhaps.
Yeah, both are good excuses. Whether
Yeah.
you're just trying to do something different or you're trying to be better, they're both great
Yeah.
excuses to
I love
try.
excuse. I love excuses. It's wonderful with all excuses.
The ones that motivate you, they're not
Yeah,
really
yeah.
excuses.
But that's so cool about music, making music. I didn't know, but as I've started to make music, it's like, okay, there's no rights and wrongs. It's amazing because but if you do math, if you're counting, there's a correct answer or a wrong answer. Um, of course, there's
See,
other
a-
arts too, but
and there's those who would say that there's parts of music where there is right and wrong, because like music is math.
yeah,
A
yeah, I
big
get that
a big
too.
chunk of
Uh,
music is math,
I
but
get that
at the
too.
same time, there is no right or wrong math because music is subjective. whereas
Yeah,
math is not.
I'm totally with you. But I thought about it a lot when putting sounds together. It came to my mind. Okay, this is a logical thinking. Actually,
Gosh,
I thought it
a
was just
girl after
creative.
Glenn's mind. Glenn's
Uh,
logical.
yeah,
Glenn's the
because
most
it's oh,
logical guy
this
you're gonna meet.
it is some kind of logic here. Because you know when you solving logic figures and stuff, it's also kind of a puzzles that has to go uh, fit together. Yeah, it's not the same, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a blend of different cultures. What to say? It's math and it's pure art and it's I don't know. It's
There's
cool.
emotion.
Yeah,
It's a
so
little bit of
much.
beat.
Yeah.
And the
Uh,
relationship between things as well, like the intervals. Some intervals sound sweet, some intervals sound sour, but it's only because there's two things there that make it sound that way. So that's where the combinations really get cool. All
yeah,
kinds of different
and you
weird
also can
combinations.
use you can I don't know if it's a sour, but that song I had gluttony. I as I told you, I hear the strings. They sound bad. I hear that this is not correct, but it's incorrect. Correct.
It
That's what my
fits.
mind is telling me.
Yes, it fits the chaos you're actually trying to put it in. When
Mm,
when when you're making the kind of music that you were doing there is such a thing as controlled chaos in sound,
mm,
and there are times where you will purposely hit things to be dissonant and to be slightly out of key. Otherwise, we wouldn't have horror music because
yeah.
horror music is all about like that.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's oh, what a thing. Because you know, I worked from the way that I don't know the terms. I know the terms after I made something. That's how it's have been for
What,
me.
yeah, that clashy kind of sound that like makes for a scary moment, like Norman killing his mother in the
Mm.
shower, bah, 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 kind of sound is all about like, dissonance, like a
Yeah,
second or a ninth chord is something where these are two notes that normally you don't hear together because any ear can hear, those notes aren't
yeah,
together, but that it still is effective when you're trying to shock, when you're trying
yeah.
to awaken the
Get the
listeners.
tritone in there, like a C and an F sharp.
And the best composers and the best musicians out there find a way to do the things that you normally can't do in a way where you're just like, oh my God, I can't believe nobody thought of this.
Mm.
If you want to hear an interesting 20th century composer, he's like the father of modern classical, Igor Stravinsky. Go listen to The Rite of Spring, and you'll see a composer who's like testing all the rules that are supposed to be there for what sounds good. He's trying all the things that are challenging to sound good and
Oh,
somehow
cool.
makes them fit a lot like how you did with this album. When I finished listening to the whole thing, the first thing I thought was like, this is Igor level creative.
Hmm. Thank you. I'm not going to remember that name.
Stravinsky,
It was.
I'll send you a message on it. And
Oh, thank you.
um,
I
I,
was
I
just going to ask you for it.
I
Yeah,
did cover the song that I'm talking about. I did a version of it. I'll send you the link to it. It's called The Rite of
Oh,
Spring. It's The Rite of Spring. It was a ballet. He was a Russian composer who was being commissioned to write a ballet, but he was a composer and he was trying to do some really crazy stuff in the early 20th century. The night the ballet came out, riots broke out in the streets, and the people who were there, like, they wanted their money back. They threw seats, and like literally there were riots in the city because they were so upset. They went to a ballet, but they were given a glimpse into 20th century composing. This wasn't classical music anymore.
Yeah. It wasn't classical. It was new classical, or
He
how to.
he
So
wrote it in a classical style for
yeah,
orchestra, but he was purposely hitting
yeah,
crazy chords and doing experiments that
uh-huh.
these people are like, this is not ballet, this is not classical music.
Yeah. And
And
it's part of the evolution, right? Because
and
also that.
he's considered like the father of modern classical because he had the balls to go out there and do it in a very different way than traditional classical had been done for 300 years.
Oh, so cool. Because yeah, it really turned to something new, solid then. And I bet that's also in that change, it must have been that other genres also took something from there and
If
that
you if
those
you
developed.
if you look at all the modern composers who score the big ones for the movies, I guarantee you all of them are influenced by Igor Stravinsky because
Oh,
everything he was doing there became the horror music that you heard throughout the
oh,
20th century. Telling you
oh, horror music is awesome.
the spoken metal that you're doing is 21st century. You're bridging the gap.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm blushing. I'm blushing all night long here.
Keep it
Oh,
up.
it's awesome. It's great to hear, really. I have some really provocative lyrics there also, but
Yeah. And
ah,
don't be afraid to be provocative.
no.
Hell, if you can come out with lust,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
anything
I
else
thought so.
should be that much
Actually, it's
easier.
like, okay, then I can talk about this and that and yeah. Um, um, we people, we go to work, it is the same thing all the time, and yeah, it's the dishes and the laundry. Now I think music want us to get, um, we want to recognize, but we also want to get the edge of something,
Yeah.
something that we don't have as our package all day long. We want to
We want to
feel
keep
something
finding
more.
we want to keep finding something
For
new.
yeah, fine, exactly.
If there
Yeah,
isn't anything new to find out there, then why should any of us make music? And
yeah,
there's only so many notes, but at the same time, we still find something new every day.
yeah, yeah, and that's I love that when I hear a song and it's like, oh, here's a new emotion to me, and here's a new thing to think about. Maybe not that rough like that, but it's like a flavor that hits you
Well,
and
and
does
that,
something with you.
as the emotions change on a daily basis, that
Mhm.
same flavor can taste different when I'm angry than when I'm happy.
Yeah.
That flavor can be really great when I'm happy, and ugh, I don't want it when I'm angry.
Absolutely.
Music's the same way. Like some
Yeah.
songs should be written in a certain mood.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Mm.
I think we're getting on towards pumpkin time. We need to
Oh yeah,
get
the
ready for
mask. The mask
the
is gonna be
mask
here
having to
soon.
show here.
Well, Minkley, this was again everything that I'd hoped for. Beautiful, beautiful work.
Absolutely.
Glad that we got to like listen to it and bounce all of those ideas that are going on in your head. I can't wait to hear what you do next.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been incredible meeting you guys here tonight. So much. I've learned so much, and it has been just so fun and uh, amazing. I'm so happy for it. So honored. Thank you so much
It's our
Oh,
for
pleasure.
inviting me.
it was great to finally meet, and you're always welcome here. You know, we are on every night usually. Like some of us are in the back. We jam. I would love to bounce some piano off of you.
Yeah, uh,
Hey, I
I'd
can't
love to.
promise. I can't promise it's going to be heavy or metal, but uh,
Oh, one last thing. Yeah, because I need to say that I heard from my neighbor. I didn't know, but that if Mozart would have lived today, he would have been playing metal.
I agree.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
Beethoven for sure. Beethoven, I feel like he was the first
Maybe it
metal.
was Beethoven.
Beethoven's
Maybe I
fifth.
remember wrong.
Beethoven's fifth to me is metal, just in
Mm.
strings.
But isn't that fantastic? Because it's like it's like a circle in some way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because I get the idea. But before I myself started with this, I haven't thought of it ever. But now it makes so much sense. It's such a challenge.
A cycle of creativity.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Mm.
Similar to the cycle of
So
fiction,
happy
right?
to be here,
Yeah,
and
it's all a
thank
circle,
you
Glenn.
so much, and hope I'll see you again. And thank you so
Oh,
much.
And
And
thank you.
love to have you back.
Definitely.
thank you.
Es-
Take
es-
care.
Especially with the spoken word, because Jeremy does his shows on Tuesday, and actually on yours, he's like the first one I saw in the comments. Jeremy's a spoken word aficionado
Mhm.
and spoken metal.
Jeremy.
Jeremy Hurt, he does a show on Tuesdays, The Upside of Hurt.
Okay, I'm not sure.
I'll send
Uh,
you. I'll send you his at name along with
oh,
that
thank you.
Stravinsky track.
I recognize it. Maybe I don't know, but yeah, thank you.
Oh,
If you send me.
I'm sure he'd love to talk to you about like the whole poetry approach.
Oh, it would be awesome.
Yeah,
It's
you two got a
so
lot of the same.
fun talking music.
You two have a lot of the same kind of word approach.
Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah. It's just so fun talk about everything and learn so much here from you guys. Yeah. Best night. This. I thank you so much. And
My
take
pleasure.
care now. And I'll see if
Yep.
I can, if I know how to. Yeah, I just push the cross here. So
Oh,
take
with
care.
whom?
Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Good night,
Yeah,
Minkley.
there. Yeah, there. Thank you.
Thanks. Take
See
care.
ya.
Definitely great stuff.
Oh, that's got me thinking of so many new ideas.
Mhm. And Stravinsky would play in Tool. Yeah, that would make sense.
Oh,
Could see that.
totally. Yeah, Tool is kind of Stravinsky
Mhm.
with electronic instruments.
Indeed. Now, I didn't see the mask come through yet, but I know he is here somewhere. So we got to make sure we leave enough time there. It's always a pleasure, though. Coming in and doing our stuff on a Thursday. Sometimes we play something. Sometimes we play stuff that's there. There we go. We will catch you guys next week for more Talking Shh IT with Tony and Glenn.
That was a fun one.
That's a fun one.
See
Good
you
stuff,
guys.
Tony. Take care, everybody.